Left side of the brain. Like I promised, part 3 for Science of the Woman. I like to say I thank everybody for leaving the comments. Um, by subscribers' request, I'm doing part 3. And when I left off from part 2, I was speaking about, I had started to go in 3 different directions, which I'm going to touch on in this video right here. So, without further ado, let's get in it. Now, when I was closing out the video, I was speaking about the differences between the functions of males and females and how men are held to a higher standard than women and how females control things, but they do it from the background and you wouldn't even suspect them to have as much power as they have because they are so subtle with it. And I went into how women know more than you give them credit for. Because just like cameras, women, they sit and watch. They on the low. So the camera is a metaphor of something that's hidden and that's watching you. And all the time while it's watching you is collecting information. So women, they sit and they look at men and they categorize men. That's why they ask you all of these questions. Okay? It's just like being in the interrogation room. Because remember, this is a human prison bar cell that we live in. So they asking you all these questions like, what kind of job you have? How much money you make? What kind of car you drive? You live with your parents? It's like you're in an interrogation boardroom. Because that's their function. They screening you. It's almost like when you actually going into an actual prison, they screen you, they examine you, they make sure you don't have no weapons, no paraphernalia, or anything that, could help you break out. So think about how I said that and apply it to you as a man. If you have a soul, women are screening you to see, do you have paraphernalia that could help someone break out? And 9 times out of 10, if you do, they don't want to deal with you. They don't want to allow you to come into the prison and have fun or pleasure. And they reject you until you give in. And when you give in, that's when you sold your soul. And the males who are really females, you'll see them with women and you'll be saying to yourself, well, how do they get women and how do they become so popular and everything? Because they are females. They're not operating off of the same frequency that you have. And I'm going to do another video on that today after I complete this video. See, they operating off of something else. They on the same side with the females. It's all a trick. It's all a game to deceive you into thinking that A, something is wrong with you, and B, to make you question the truth that you know, and C, it wants you to deny the truth. Almost like how Peter denied Christ. That's what it wants you to do. And it wants you to give in. That's what they're used for. And it's harder on males, especially it's even harder for organic portal males, but it's even more harder for us than them. You know, the real males who have souls, it's going to be extra hard for people like yourself because you are considered a threat. You are considered a threat. So therefore, they're going to test you to the limits. Like if you dating one of these girls out here and you have knowledge about life, it's going to be harder for you to communicate with these females because number one, you're not going to feel natural around them. Your interaction with them is not going to feel natural. But for the organic portal male, him and the organic portal female, they click like this. You see? And I'm going to go into why they click on my next video that I do, because I plan on doing 2 videos today. And because you are not like them, you're not going to have a smooth selling relationship with anybody outside of your frequency or the level of mind that you live upon. That's just how it is. Now, something else I was talking about in part 2, I was talking about how men accept women more so readily than females are willing to accept men. And I went into the example of, well, 2 things I was speaking about. I was talking about how women are all the same, generally speaking. Like, I went into, like, when a female gets pregnant, she becomes a woman. She fulfilled her duty on this earth. She fulfilled the purpose of her being a female. She had a child. And it doesn't matter what age she is. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, because I don't want you men to get, confused about who is who among the women. What I'm trying to tell you is 99.999% of all of these females are just the same because they have the same function. So you can't get deceived. So what I'm saying is, you have a woman that's like, she can be in her late teens, a woman in her early 20s, a woman in her late 20s, a woman in her early 30s, and a woman in her mid to late 30s. They all get pregnant. They all have sex with you. And the thing is, once they have a child, they have fulfilled their purpose. They breastfeed. They raise the children. Naturally, by nature, a female was designed to raise children and to be a housewife. And because of that, let's just say you married a 16-year-old girl, or if you married a 30-year-old girl, or a 40-year-old girl, and they all got pregnant. What would be the difference between the 3 if all of them were operating in their natural design, which is to have children and to stay at the house and raise the children and cook breakfast and cook dinner? What would be the difference? Because all 3 categories, all of the age groups are named, they fulfilled their role as a female. They had children. So what would be the difference? Now, compare that to a man, and you're about to see a huge difference to why there is a higher criteria for men than women. Let's get into it. A man cannot lead a woman at 14. A man cannot lead a woman at 15, 16, 17. Because for a man, it takes more years of maturing, because his natural design is to be a leader. So it's a difference. A man doesn't have the maturity to raise a family at 14. You see? So that's why in ancient times and in some cultures today, girls who are younger, they marry older men, and the females are younger. You know why that is? Because a teenager boy, he has a different role to play in society. His main role is to be a leader and a provider and someone to provide security. So that's why age matters amongst men. But with females, the only thing that matters, since she is not naturally the one who's supposed to be the provider, the one to secure, the one to be the leader, because that's not her role by nature, then she can marry younger, because her number one function is right here on her chest. She got mammary glands to breastfeed. She can do that starting at age 14, 15, 16, 17. She can get pregnant and be in a house raising children, breastfeeding children, nourishing children. A 16-year-old girl can breastfeed a child the same way a 33-year-old woman can. No difference. So with women, all across the board, it's pretty much the same. But with men, it's not like that. No 16-year-old boy can give a dissertation like I'm giving right now. Because number one, he don't have the life experience to do that. But with a female, she don't have to have the life experience to get pregnant. To fulfill her duty, she don't have to have life experiences. As long as she is with the right man, who is, and when I say right man, let me step back for a minute. It don't matter what man it is. She can get pregnant by anybody and still fulfill her duty to be a mother and have a child and to breastfeed. But when I said right man, in a ideal situation, a man who will, stay around and help raise the children and to help provide for the children. That's what I meant when I said that. But she, at any age, can get pregnant and fulfill her duties as a female. So that's a clear distinction between why women are more so united, because they have one thing to fulfill. Their number one purpose is to populate the earth and to rear up the children. But when you look at men, just like in the animal kingdom, all right, when you see them lions running around, you think all of those male lions leave their seed behind? No, they don't. But every single one of them female lions, they get pregnant at some point in their life. It's not like that with the male lions. They have to fight for that top position. And if they are not considered an alpha male, the female will reject them. And the alpha male, he will either kill or seriously injure any of the competition that's vying for the same position that he is, which is to copulate with one of the female lions. So now you understand why, as a man, this channel is so vital to you. This type of information, no matter where you get it from. But I know that on this channel, somebody left a comment and they was like, they have heard other videos. They mentioned MGTOW. For those who don't know, the MGTOW movement, I'm not a MGTOW, I'm a SIGTOW. Souls going their own way. But anyway, the man, he mentioned that that this channel goes deeper. And I agree with him, because I touch on the core of the secret wars and what it's about. And in these videos, I just connect the dots with everything so you can see the clear picture. So that's why it is of the highest importance for a man to hear this information and to absorb this information, because you are not a man if you don't have this information. Because I'll say it again, testosterone that's not governed by logic means you are not a man. You are just a female who has a higher amount of testosterone. That's it. You're no different than a transgender female who's taking hormones. That's what I classify you as. You see? So what I'm trying to point out is that females, they are one mind. They are one unit. You see? Rarely, very rare will you find a female that thinks slightly different to where you can deal with her without her trying to reshape who you are. And a lot of you men, you know what I'm talking about. You can get with these women and they'll just, like, when they are totally on a different plane. And I'm going to go into my next video, I'm going to speak about the different planes that people, but anyway, I'm going to get into that in the next video. But some of you men know that you can get with some of these women and subtly, on the low, they criticizing you and they saying things to you and putting like subliminals into you to change who you are. And that's why I said in part 2 that sometimes you may get with some of these women, but it's a trap. It's a trap because women have always been sent to trap men in some form or fashion. It's an initiation to lead you into getting them pregnant so you can really be connected to this thing. That's their purpose. Every woman is a gateway into the organic portal realm. Make no discussion about it. And that's their purpose. That's their mandate. Every now and then, you might find a woman that's okay. And I say that with a grain of salt. Yes, we do have female subscribers. And how somebody pointed out in the comments, one thing about me, I read every comment. I don't always respond right away because I'll be doing other stuff. I can't just sit and respond all day. But when I get the time, like if I'm sitting in my car or whatever, taking a break or something, I'll start responding to comments. But something that a person who commented, they brought up, they said most of these dislikes on this series, he said it, he hit it on the nail. It's coming from females. Because I don't see why no real man who has lived the experience of a man, how he wouldn't be able to relate to what I'm saying. It don't make sense. But hey, everybody don't have the mechanics to understand or comprehend what is making sense. So, but that's why I don't tell you to put any trust in any woman, because their mandate is to serve the overall organic portal realm, to fill it up, to keep it filled up. It's almost like the purpose of a store, right? The employees, the ushers at the door, the people who welcome you, like when you go to Walmart and they have those people to welcome you. The purpose of that is to bring you in there. You know how you go to these restaurants and you might see these fine waitresses or whatever that be at the door, and they welcome you with a smile. And you know good and well, you've seen this very same girl somewhere out in public. She wouldn't even speak to you. But she only doing that, being nice, because so she can get a tip to keep her job, so you can give her a good recommendation, or to leave, a tip on the table. That's the only reason why they doing that. 9 times out of 10. Sometimes they are genuine. So I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater, because that would be unfair. And I like to keep stuff, thorough, because I'm a person of justice. So, but 9 times out of 10, you're dealing with people who just want you to come in. And just like these females, every now and then, you'll get one that's nice and polite, and you might get with some of them. But the only reason is because they trying to fill up this organic portal realm with humans. And that's it. Just like the people who work in a Walmart, the greeters at the door, they being polite because they just want to bring you in. They want to suck you in so you can buy stuff off the shelf, which money represents energy. It's a form of energy. Just like when you sleep with a woman, your sperm is energy. So ultimately, her job is to fill up the organic portal realm, i.e. the store, fill up the shelves with product. You the product in this metaphor. And that's what that woman who is being nice to you, that's what she's trying to get you to do. Sometimes it's a trap. You just got to be wise enough to figure out when it's a trap and when this woman really has your back. And when a woman has your back, what do I mean by that? Basically, you don't need a woman to have your back, because a man should be able to stand on his own too, like a man. But when a woman has your back, this is what it means. She allows you to be you. She allows you to be yourself. And she allows you to be yourself, and she is in covenant with you. She is in agreement with you. And in fact, she will help you reach your potential, and she will help you reach your goal. That's how you know if you got a real woman. If she got another program other than what I'm saying on this channel, she not the right one. Because she leading you down the wrong path. Yeah, her sex might be good. Yeah, she might give good head. She might do all of that. But when you around her and you in the car with her and you got to listen to all of that poison music she likes to listen to make her happy, if you can't play the kind of music you like and feel comfortable doing the things that you like to do when you are around her, and if you feel like if you be yourself around her that she will leave you, then guess what? You already know you're not with the right one. So she has given you all of the signs. And that's how you will know that you are with an organic portal female. And if you're a woman, you know how you know you're with an organic portal male? Let him listen to one of these left side of the brain channel videos and see how he reacts. If he feel it, then most likely he's not an organic portal male. If he responds to it like a female, then you with a bitch. I'm not trying to hate or anything like that. But you know, I got a thing where I don't even think women don't know how to choose men. Women choose men based off of materialistic things. Because a woman really doesn't know what a real man is. She doesn't. She don't know. Like a woman couldn't teach a man the things that I'm saying right now on this video. So how could she know what a real man is? Because she can't judge a real man based on what I'm saying. Because she doesn't know this. She would never say the things I've said in this series of The Science of Women. So how can she be the one to say what is a real man? See, men are qualified by other men who know. Just like in the Marines. Real men, when we building with each other and we philosophizing around the fire, around the campfire, we know who we dealing with. Mind detects mind. A woman can't detect a man's mind. She can judge a man based upon how good he is in bed, how much money he make, but she can't fill out a man based upon other spiritual things. You see? Because a woman, she can be deceived very easily. But a real man knows when he is in the company of a real man. Beta males, they know when they are in the presence of alpha males. A female may judge an alpha male based upon how broad his shoulders is, how tall he is, the length of his penis, things like that. But that doesn't mean you just have a female with a lot of testosterone. See, a real man, he is a man of higher knowledge, as well as the physicality and the good health, and he take care of himself. A real man, he must be able to stand on his own too. So a lot of times these women, they not designed to fill up the world with real men. That would go against the whole blueprint of the organic portal realm. So that's proof in itself of what I'm saying. Look out your window, look in the world around you, and it will tell you that women don't know how to choose men. Because if they did, I wouldn't be giving this channel, I wouldn't be saying the things I'm saying right now. I wouldn't have the left side of the brain channel. The reason why there's so many soulless babies out here, because women, they just lay down and get pregnant. Have you ever thought about that? Who is behind all of these soulless people out here. A woman had to decide that I'm going to sleep with men and just have a baby. It's going on all around you 24/7. Every now and then, one of us will slip into this. But the majority of the time, it's just organic portal babies, because it always has to be more than, it always has to be, as a matter of fact, take this note down. It always has to be more of them than us inside of this organic portal realm. Because the prison always has more bars and bricks than the inmates who are on the inside of the prison. So the human prison bars, they form the facility that houses the prisoners. Have you ever seen a prison where there are more inmates inside of the prison than the bricks in the wall and the bars of each cell? So look at the bars of a prison cell. Each one of those cell bars in an actual prison cell, it represents a human prison bar. The bricks in the cell represents a human prison brick that they are housed inside of, that keeps them locked into a square. That's what I'm saying. That's why I back up everything with metaphors. So most of these women out here are brain dead. So you may as well say that a lot of these women are getting pregnant by other women. You got women getting pregnant by other women. Because a lot of these so-called men, they are just in costumes. You have to understand that this flesh that we live in, it disguises who we really are. Like a person can put a wig on, get plastic surgery, put a bandana around their face like me. So you can't go by how I look. That's why I don't even show my face. Because it doesn't, you can't go by, well, let me not say that, because you can look at people. There is a certain, that's for another time though. Like people, there is a certain sacred geometry of the facial makeup of a person.